Shadows crawling in the bright daylight, voices twisted, feeding us the blight, telling stories that were never true. We fight to break on through. Lines are woven like a velvet chain, slick with power driving us insane. But the fire burns deep within our chests. We fight, we'll never rest. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we'll never rest. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we make our mark. They call us rebels, say we've lost our way, but freedom's blood, it fuels the fray. From the ashes comes a brighter light. We fight with all our might. See resolve in the roaring storm, breaking cages will rewrite the norm. No more silence, no more disguise. We fight with open eyes. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we'll never rest. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we make our mark. We fight, we make our mark.
The Israel first crowd over at Fox is going to be relentless, and we're going to make sure we're here to blunt it. That's why they're all worked up. They're leaking oil because we shut down their regime change, which they wanted to go to. In fact, if there's regime change, right, we think every country ought to do it. Maybe in Jerusalem they should start thinking about that. I don't know how Netanyahu's government, this Washington Post story has got to be refuted. I don't know how anybody can deal with them until the CIA comes out. We got to talk about exactly what information was put forward on that critical time of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of a couple of weeks ago, particularly led up to the bombing. So, and I think everybody's in agreement. It needs to be a major reset. If you're a protectorate, you got to act like a protectorate, and Israel's a protectorate, right? They're not. We don't have an alliance with them. And the one time, and President Trump will tell you this on Soleimani. Netanyahu backed out at the last second, did not have President Trump's back in the very last moment. And anybody disputes that, go talk to President Trump. He's pretty adamant about it.
What's up, guys? How we doing tonight?
The 12-day war is over. I mean,
laying
he
it
was
down,
boom,
telling us what's up. Love it. Good stuff from the man himself. How are you all doing tonight? Listen. I am... unfortunately, I'm not on Rumble tonight. Rumble Studio has been driving me nuts. So if you're looking for me, my Rumble peeps, hopefully they're not missing me too much. But that's why my stream looks good. You see the difference? It's incredible, isn't it? So, anyways, trying to figure out Rumble, but it's just not working. Not working for me lately. But anyways, welcome to the Ace Report, guys. Tonight, got lots to cover. There's been so much going on in the Trump administration, in the world, that I'm going to cover as much as I possibly can tonight. Lots of stories. No massive story, but my theme tonight, the thing I want to talk about tonight is that the fact that I think we're in a time of miracles. I think we're in a time of seeing the impossible happen. And it's not just because of what Trump's doing, but he is the one leading the way. He's the one showing us what's possible. This is a time when beliefs are met. And I was just coming out of our Discord group. And in the Discord group, there's a lot of concern over, especially, this channel started as a stock channel, and there's some many stocks that most of us are involved in, short squeeze kind of stocks, GameStop type stuff, Finger, DJT, and there's a lot of concern. And I get it because it's been a long, hard fight. And, it's just like, to me, it's very similar to last year and what we went through from 2020, the election of 2020 to the election of 2024, the hopelessness, the how long is this going to go on? It feels impossible. And then we had one of the biggest miracles of ever, winning that November election. And guys, what we're seeing now, it's a time of miracles, just amazing things happening. And I believe they will continue to happen, and that it will eventually extend to other wins. I don't think we're at the end of anything. I don't think we've lost. I think that, sometimes things change, but if we stay true to who we are, if we stay together as a group, and as a nation, honestly, at least the people truly fighting for it, we're going to see wins that never felt possible. They were distant dreams. It's like in Lord of the Rings, where he's like, "Is there any hope, Sam?" It's like, "There never was much hope, Mr. Frodo." but hope is what keeps us going, and then you win. So anyways, yeah, see, guys, the super clear picture. That's because I gave up on Rumble Studio, and I found a mod that's allowing me to stream on X, and it was supposed to allow me to stream on Rumble too, but it didn't connect to Rumble, and Rumble's just got all sorts of issues right now. In fact, I'm actually looking at my X profile right now too, and it looks like the stream, even though it says it's running, doesn't look like it is. So that's awesome. Well, looks like I'm just on YouTube tonight, and I guess that's just kind of how it's going to be for a while until Rumble Studio gets their act together. But hey, I know you guys are stoked to see me all clear and smiling. That's what it's all about. Just looking good for y'all. Anyways, let me catch up with everybody in the chat here. So what's going on, Kessink? Actually, real quick, because my stream's not working, before I do my shout outs, as I love you guys, but I'm actually going to post my link onto X because it makes me sad I can't live stream there right now, but it is what it is. All right, put it out there. Okay, anyways, what's going on? All right, let me call some people out. Cassink, Wago Waco, US1, what's going on, buddy? Frank Conostalgio, Stony Bones, Alan, hey, dudes and gals. Butters, JJ Jackson, Heidi Moga, Charlie Matt, Kathy, what's up? Pedro, Raj, Ted Yunkin, Jack, Hamilton, Just Mike Moody, Stephen Cromer, Cindy Lou who? All right. Vince Felice, Linda Talley, what's going on? Victor Yara, Thomas Dubois, what's up, man? How you feeling? Big JR, hey, you guys. Jack, Uncle Andy, what's up? Shogun, he's here. Well, I was going to say he's here, he's queer. But Shogun, you ain't queer. Sorry. That's the old, teenager in me starts coming out, that 90s teenager. On my volume bet? No, I'm good now, right? Clear picture. Yep. Fourth place, JR. How dare you? Nordman, what's up? He says, corruption always wins. That's just not true. It does a lot, but it's not always. And not if it never outlasts those who fight. That's the thing with corruption. It eventually dies. It eventually loses, but you gotta hang on. Pictures clear as corn pop. FGCV, what's up, man? Smash that like. Thank you, Jack Hamilton. Thune has to fire Elizabeth McDonough. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Bear says, do I still believe in finger G-Bucks? Yeah, I actually do. Call me crazy. Listen, I have, this really helps me, and I hope it helps you guys. And we'll talk about the stocks first tonight, and then I'm going to go through the news of the day. But there will be never a Chicago Bears hat on this head. Sorry, FGCV. I didn't wear it when the Niners were winning 2 games. I won't win it now, or wear it now. But listen, so in regards to finger and G-Bucks, the thing is I believe they both have short squeeze potential. I really do. That has not changed. But what makes me feel even better is I believe both of them have potential to be great companies. And so in my opinion, with G-Bucks and Finger, and the reason I have been able to stay strong in these stocks, despite the fact there's been a lot of up and down, obviously. They've both had awesome runs already. Okay. That's number one. And that shows me that potential is always there. Okay. And B is that they're both building something really great, and they both have really strong deals in place, opportunities in place. And I like both of them. I like what Finger's doing. I like what G-Bucks is doing. Their app idea is great. And so when you combine all those things, I see 2 companies actually trying to build something. And the fact that they're just naked shorted to death and have the potential of awesome short squeezes, that is obviously what I want the most. But it makes me feel really safe that even if I don't get that awesome epic squeeze, I believe we're still going to see Finger someday be a $25, $50 company, a stock. G-Bucks, who knows? But I could easily see it ended up between $10, $15, even if it doesn't squeeze. So I feel good about it. They both have a lot of strength in TA models long-term, like BAMs. So yeah, I'm not scared at all. Liquid says, just buy NVIDIA, you'll be good. Not as much lately. NVIDIA's had some massive downturns in the last year. So it's been up and down, up and down. Brett says, remember, if you've been watching for more than 5 minutes, already have hit the like button. Yeah, why not? Why not? Make a YouTuber happy, a lower tier YouTuber happy. Subscribe, all that stuff. And if you don't mind, maybe share it. Share that post I posted on X if you're already on X. Thomas says, doing meh. Cancer's coming back even on chemo. Got a buddy send me ivermectin, fenbendazole. All right, Thomas, we'll be praying for you, bro. So sorry for you. Jim says, any idea when DJT stock will go up? No, but I know that BAM's model says it'll hit 88 sometime this year, likely. And I tell you what, I still believe in DJT, what it could do. I think they have some really cool stuff. They have $3 billion in cash. Okay, so they're not going to be in trouble for long. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping it goes a little lower to pick up some more. So there you go. All right. Yeah. GNS is finally doing well. Liquid, if you're up 40% NVIDIA, you bought a while back, or you bought the dip last summer, which would have just been good timing. But other than that, there's no way you're 40% up, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe that you're 40% up. I'm saying that recently it hasn't traveled 40%. But good for you. I'm glad you're making money. Make sure you don't diamond hands it, because NVIDIA eventually, they got some weird stuff on the books with NVIDIA. And I think eventually NVIDIA is going to be exposed. So just be careful. Be careful holding on to that one too long. But, you do you, I'll do me. And right now you definitely are making more money than me. So there's that. So good for you. I'm happy for you. All right, let's move on here. There's so many things to get to tonight. We're going to do a lot of popcorn tonight because there's a lot of smaller things. But first, I wanted to share one of my favorite things I saw in the last couple days. Did any of you guys watch this Bernie clip? Oh my God. Bernie on Joe Rogan got absolutely dismantled this week, and it was a joy. Here's somebody put a clip of the best parts of it, and this just makes me laugh, and I hope it makes you guys laugh too.
Have you prepared for this?
I am well prepared.
What are your thoughts on this?
There ain't no easy answers. Let me throw that out to you. I don't have a magical solution. I wish I did. I don't. I don't know the answer to your question. Admittedly, it is complicated. I don't have the magic answer. Okay, I don't have the answer to that question.
That's the problem.
What does it mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? So, and again, please, these are complicated issues. I surely don't have all the answers. What was they saying? Right now, where is it? Jesus, I think, don't quote me on this, maybe in Norway.
So,
All right, I'm gonna plead ignorance. See, again, I'm trying to think here, and I wish I had better answers for you. I mean, it's a great question. I don't have the easy answer to it. No, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? I cannot tell you. But the answer is yes and no. But
would you agree with that?
I don't have those details. I don't know that I agree with your analysis of it. I don't know enough. I can't remember. It was I honestly don't remember. Hate is based on ignorance.
Oh my God, guys! If I ever do that, if that ever becomes me,
Have you prepared for this?
Just put me
I
out
am
of
all
misery.
prepared.
Please.
What are your thoughts?
Don't make me go through that. That's absolutely miserable. This is why you do not. This is why you do not go on. Leftists do not go on podcasts. You just don't. If you're a Democrat, you can't go on podcasts anymore. Bernie, to his credit, is the bravest one I've seen, because nobody else is willing to go on real podcasts, and he's going on there and just getting destroyed. And Joe wasn't even being mean. I mean, Joe was being super nice to him. I mean, Joe actually voted for Bernie back in the day. He was a Bernie bro. He loves Bernie Sanders, even though he's voting for Trump now. But Joe's also been majorly red pilled in the last few years, and so, but he was trying to give Bernie a chance. Couldn't take it. So if that ever happens to me, like if you guys are asking me about stocks and I just start fumbling like that, or if you're asking me about politics and that's all I do is fumble, it's over. Just get me out. Get me out. I no longer need to be doing this. My time is over. I'm done. Because the only reason I can do what I do is because I show up and I at least know enough to keep the conversation going. And that's so anyways. But anyway, so look at here. We're going to show you some stuff that I just thought we'd never see. This is incredible. Peter St. Ong today. Net migration just turned negative for the first time in 50 years. By sheer coincidence, blue-collar wage growth also just hit 60-year record. On the ground, we're already seeing massive wage gains and better conditions when companies replace illegals with Americans. It's amazing. Everybody was saying people won't do these jobs, but no, it turns out they will, and wages will go up if you just get rid of them. And I think we're about to see something that we never thought we'd see, which because we didn't realize what the problem was. We've been net migrating just nonstop since Ted Kennedy got passed the immigration bill in 70s or early 80s that just allowed third world countries to just come in like nothing. And since then, so 50 years of this, just nonstop people rushing in to our country, taking our jobs. And listen, I feel for people who want a better life. I do. But when that's all you let in all the time and you're not bringing in the best of the best, you start losing your country. And we stopped assimilating, and then it got worse and worse with illegals. And so all of them leaving now because A, deportations, and B, self-deportations. Remember, a lot of them got scared, and Trump is offering them an out. They get paid to leave. They get $1,000 plus a flight out if they choose to leave on the spot. Trump is giving them money to leave. And so we've had over 1 million self-deport. And this is already happening. And there's all these videos of stores that are just empty and donut shops empty. And I feel bad for those business owners. They didn't open their shop thinking, oh man, I'm going to make money because of illegals. But it's showing you, this is mostly in California, we're seeing these. It's an immigration bill in 65. So yeah, 65, there you go. Even further back, 60 years. This is a 60-year anniversary. But you see, it's clear now, and they're hiding or they're self-deporting, which is incredible. And so net negative, 50 years, guys. 50 years. And I heard this incredible podcast today with Ann Coulter, and I just remembered it. So give me 1 second to pull this up here. She was on Tim Pool today, and she just had an incredible breakdown of is this it right here? I think this is it.
News 24 says you.
Yeah. Okay. So she had this incredible breakdown. I wanted to play just a couple minutes of it for you guys to hear, because what she says here just kind of blew my mind. And so let me get this right up here. Just listen to what she says here towards the end.
Now going to get worse if this guy wins. Chicago, the Tribune warned New York, don't make the same mistake we did. They're spiraling. It kind of feels like, okay, we wait.
I recommend everyone read my book, Adios America. There's nothing that isn't made worse by mass immigration from the third world. And one of those things is that dovetails with what you're saying is social trust. There was this study by, I think he's Harvard, Robert Putnam. He held on to the study for years. And it was, how much people contribute to charities, trust their neighbors, listen to the news, join civic organizations, help with local problems. So that social trust marker, the one factor that makes it go down the most is the percentage of immigrants in your town. And he was so horrified by this because liberal, and he ran, a billion different possible explanations. And nope. It always came down to the number of foreign-born. And it's not just that they don't trust people who are foreign-born and foreign-born people don't trust them. People don't trust anybody in these high foreign population towns. It destroys social trust. And as for these, the cheap workers, look, if the country's over, the one fun I'm going to have, as I did with Mom Donnie crushing Cuomo last night, is watching all of these businessmen who were, happy to wreck our country so they could make another dollar. Watch them how when they see the rules under a government run by the Mamdanis and the AOCs. Ha, ha, ha. I'll sign up for Sanders and work for a wealth tax if our country's finished.
I do see in the long term with Trump's victory and the.
So she made the point, and it was so strong. Ann Coulter is brilliant, by the way, and she was breaking it down and
popular vote,
basically making the point that it was this migration bill that really started the end of our country. And I'd never heard that before, but as she was speaking, it just made so much sense. It really did, and I recommend listening to the whole thing. It's a half hour. It's really not long. It's very, boom, 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 just hitting it. But she made the point too. It's like other countries haven't done this. Now Europe's doing it now, but other countries never did this before. And she made this point that no country in history has ever allowed itself to be demographically changed the way we have. And that was just a shocking statement, but it's true. And she was like, how can you keep yourself this way? And I don't care what color you are or anything like that. That's not what I mean. It's more about the assimilation to be American. And we just stopped doing that. And it became a bad word to ask people to do that. So this net negative is huge. This, I do think this is a big, beautiful bill as well. And Ann also made this point in the podcast. She said, if the big, beautiful bill, because Tim Pool asked her, he said, what about this deficit spending? All this stuff in the big, beautiful bill. And she was like, I hate all that. She's like, none of it matters if we don't fix the immigration problem. And she said, if we don't fix the immigration problem, we don't fix ever the deficit problem. So she was just run it through, get it done, because this is going to just fully fund the whole immigration thing. And if you wonder, if everybody realizes what a big deal this is, let me find, there's your girl, JR. I'm not quite ready for her yet. Where is it? It's, sorry, I have to do things a little bit different. Yeah, right here. Okay. This Tom Homan story. So Tom Homan today revealed that him rescuing migrant children trafficked to pedos under Biden, and then because he's getting nonstop death threats, he's living apart from his wife right now. That tells you right there that the left is so against this. They know that the immigration thing is such a big deal that it'll destroy them. And so this man who's leading the charge on this right now literally doesn't live with his wife right now. That's absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. But we get the immigration thing cleaned up. We're going to see it's miracles. We're going to see miracles. Speaking of immigration, Kilmar Obrego Garcia is now going back to a third party country thanks to the Supreme Court's ruling. So that's a win. That guy is absolutely atrocious. I can't believe the Democrats decided to have margaritas with him and make him out to be a hero. That's what we're doing right now. It's the craziest thing. Jim Boswell, big NVIDIA guy. I get it. You guys love NVIDIA. That's awesome. Hero says we need to secure our northern border as well. I agree with you 100%. Even though not as many people come across the northern border, but there is drugs, there is issues, and the northern border is actually policed less than the southern border because it used to be we could completely trust the Canadians. They were our nice neighbors to the north. They didn't cause any problems. They just were bundled up all the time because they're cold. You could completely trust them. And now, nope, they're in with the leftists. And so many are coming in to the north and coming down as well. And that's a crazy border because the southern border is like desert, which you can see for miles. It's easy to pick them out. On the northern border, it is wooded for hundreds and hundreds of miles. And that is much, much tougher to police. So crazy stuff. Cassink says they'll want to go home when they get held at Alligator Alcatraz. Alligator Alcatraz is crazy. Uncle Andy says even in Japan now, wherever they import third world foreigners turns to shit. I mean, Japan has been pretty strict about this for a long time. They keep their culture pretty tight. And yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but the thing about Japan is that what's going to kill them right now is the fact they're not having any babies at all. Japan's population is, it's either already older, like there's more old people than young people, or it's going to flip in like a year or two. I can't remember what it is. It's very close to going crazy. Valiant Thor says, as a 173-year-old Democrat, I'm extremely mad Donald Trump's coming after my Social Security. I heard that they announced today that Doge has gotten rid of 12 million people still on the Social Security, in the Social Security system that were over, I think, 125 or older. 12 million. It's unbelievable. Alan says that's why Eisenhower stopped illegal immigrants and legal immigration called Operation Wetback. Not only that, I mean, there's been many, many times where we've stopped immigration for a period. And we used to have a quota. For years we did this. Our quota was like, we allow 1 million in a year or 500,000 a year. It always changed. But we used to do quotas, and quotas make sense. Because then you pace it, you know who you're letting in, and we should have like some asylum laws. All that makes sense, but we've lost the plot, and it's interesting because I always knew it was a deal. It's like even Bush was talking about building a wall, and back then it was nothing like it is now. And obviously it was a big deal with Reagan, and he amnestied 3.5 million people. And then Obama was deporter in chief. So we've always known the border was a big deal. But I got to tell you that other than a little bit of hearing it from Pat Buchanan, it never clicked with me how big a deal it was until Trump. And now I think we're just catching on to not only is it a big deal, for now, at this moment, it could be the biggest deal. And that's what I think most people don't understand. They think of it in terms of the last 3 or 4 years under Biden. But the truth is our country's just been being stolen from us for 50, 60 years. And even before that, depending on how you measure it. going back to 1913, the Federal Reserve, going back to Wilson, World War One. You can go back even further. There's many people, who think it started in the Civil War. There's a lot of people out there who hate Lincoln, which is, I've still never quite bought their argument, but they believe that he's the one who first got the Fed to be, or the federal government to be too powerful. So no matter how far you go back, somebody always has their moment of it begins, right? But for us in our modern era right now, I think cutting that off, getting people out, just taking control of our citizenship again, knowing who's here, cleaning up the voting, cleaning up Social Security rolls. I think we are going to see, just like it says in this post, where just in 1 month, blue collar wage growth hit a 60-year record because of this. I think we're going to see good things happening in America as a result of this. And we never would have thought that this was the answer to certain problems. Like some problems we know, right? You get them out, crime goes down, housing prices go down. There's some things we know are a guarantee. But this one, we were told, would never have anything to do with migrants because they're slave labor, right? So anyways, it's just fascinating. And again, I highly recommend checking out that podcast with Tim Pool and Ann Coulter. She does a fantastic job. Thank you, Brett. It says buckle up and clip the thumbs up. Thanks in advance. Appreciate it. Hero says the average age in Japan is 49.9 years old. That's insane. That's so high. Their social system's going to just absolutely collapse here in the next couple of years. All right. Let's move on, though, to another massive deal. Trump and Netanyahu have reportedly agreed in principle to end the Gaza war within the next 2 weeks and expand the Abraham Accords. Now, I don't know how they're planning on expanding it, but they're out there saying that there are countries that want in on the Abraham Accords that we never would have thought. Well, since most of the Middle East has already signed it, that makes me think we're going to get something massive like an Iraq or maybe even an Iran. How crazy would that be if after this war they brought them on? So I'm looking to see who this is going to be. I'm very excited about it. But again, Trump in his first term pulled off the Abraham Accords, basically brought peace to the Middle East for a time, and nobody thought it was possible. And now he's expanding that peace. And with Iran's nukes taken out and us have showing force in there and also getting Israel to calm down, we might see peace in the Middle East and it turn into a thriving place where maybe more countries are thriving instead of just Saudi Arabia and UAE with all their oil money, because they just said, screw it, we want the money. We don't care about Sharia law. We don't care about Islam anymore. We don't care about war. We just want the money. And now they're thriving because of all the oil. What if that happens to Iran? It would be absolutely incredible. Donkey says, a buddy of mine used to drive a deportation bus back in the 80s before he retired. He would always tell me how he dropped them in Tijuana. They'd be back in Stockton before he got back. Oh my God, Stockton. You're taking me back, buddy. Stockton was an hour from where I was at. Alan Krentz says, I thought population growth was bad. What? Who told you that? That population, you're talking about the theory of population growth being bad, which started with the population bomb, the major book that came out in the 70s, told everybody that by this time, once we pass a certain number, I think it was like 5 billion, the earth would be starved of resources and we'd all be starving. Well, now the earth is almost at 9 billion and we're doing just fine. No, population decline is much, much worse. And the reason is you need young people to keep working and keep providing the security nets, take care of the old people, whether it's through a system like ours, like Social Security, or if it's just taking care of the family. You have to keep replenishing the world with young people. And also what they found is that as population grows, by the way, we have more than enough land, we have more than enough food, but it's about how we cultivate it. The only reason everything that we have been told is what's the word I'm looking for? everything we've been told is limited is a lie. Oil, we have anywhere from 500 to 2,000 years more worth of oil, and it might never end. There's some people starting to find that oil might actually be self-regenerating, like water. It just might be a part of the system of the earth. So oil, not going anywhere anytime soon. Food, as long as we regenerative farm, you can make food for days. There's so much farmland. You could fit the entire population of America, the whole of America, just into Texas, the state, and still everybody would have like an acre of land. So there's no shortage of land. There's no shortage of food. Everything's been made. We've been made to think all this, it's purposely held back from us. But if everybody was allowed to pursue like the way we should be, where we can all work hard, people could own land, people could farm more, there wouldn't be all these restrictions all the time. The government has created a chokehold on all this stuff on purpose to make us think like we're all going to die. And it makes a lot of sense once you understand the globalist agenda, which, on the Georgia Guidestones, it said we want to get the world population of 500 million. It's all eugenics. You can trace it back to the 1920s, where German scientists that came to America started getting American scientists all excited about it. Then Hitler comes along, eugenicists trying to breed the perfect people, the Aryans, and out of Germany, he not only killed the Jews, but he killed Christians. He killed all the people who are disabled, mentally handicapped, you name it. He was killing everybody. And so it just keeps going. It keeps going. And so, population, this is one of Elon Musk's big deals, is that population growth is much healthier for the planet than population decline. Is my volume low? Hold up. Let me see if I can raise it a little more for you guys. I have to, no, it's not letting me because I'm in the middle of recording. Oh, wait, here we go. All right. How about now? Whoa, that's really loud. How about now? How about now? Nope. Lost it. Sorry. I got screwed up. Just give me one more second again. Okay, that's better. That better? Valiant Thor says migrants have been carb loading for several months now, sort of like bears before they go into hibernation. I guess. Boswell says, I don't use fertilizer. My Christmas tree farm get truckloads of horse manure for free. Exactly. There's plenty of it. Plenty of it. US 1, today's Supreme Court. Oh yeah, I'm going to get to that. That's a big one. Yeah, Supreme Court. Oh, by the way, we get some major rulings, Supreme Court tomorrow. Major. I think there's 3 or 4 major rulings tomorrow, including, are they going to stop the district courts from injunctions? I'm very happy with the fact the last 2 big decisions were 6-3, which means Amy Coney Barrett is back with the conservatives lately. So that's really good to me. Good in my opinion. Brett says, if the volume's bad, I can call Gavin, see if he can do sign language on the line. Donkey says, I saw a video from a Christian in Iran, says the military is in control and direct contact with Trump. Regime change in the air all over Iran. Ayatollah's been banished on the way out. Really? I do have a post on that in just a second. Valiant Thor says, Democrats trying to orchestrate controlled demolition of the American empire. They've been doing for a long time. Boswell says, Dems hate manure. Moist fertilizer is from oil processing and soluble salts. Yes, you're right. I don't know what else to say it, but look at this on the Iran post you just said. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, this update from Goldie Gamari. She's Iranian. I've been following her site the last couple weeks. It says Iranians are quietly continuing to mobilize, getting ready to rise up. Another message from Iranian to others in the country. If you're an ordinary citizen and want to do something, form a group of 5 to 7 people, gather info, and be respectful of the area where you live. You will have 2 important tasks ahead of you. First, Take the pulse of security of your area. And second, prepare to merge with a greater force you will know in time. If you think 22 Masa Amini uprisings were big, you have no idea what's coming. And then here's the actual post written in Arabic. But listen, if you think, guys, I think Trump organized and planned, probably with some of Israel's help, but I think they, behind the scenes, knew that if they pulled this off, they could also get regime change, the people to rise up. And there's probably been, I mean, we already know Mossad's in Iran. They've probably been fomenting this, preparing it so that when Israel attacks and when the U.S. finally, we made our mark, it would be time to get the people to rise up. So very exciting stuff. I mean, if Iran gets westernized and they become what they were, but maybe even a better system this time, become very Western friendly, maybe even friends of Israel, that would change the entire world dynamic. Because for a long time, other than China and Russia, which are big rivals, you know, because they both have muscle, for a long time, the three we worried about, you know, it's like Bush said, the axis of evil. You know, it is an axis of evil. Iraq, that's a terrible Bush impersonation. North Korea and Iran, right? Well, North Korea, obviously, because, you know, Kim Jong-un is crazy and has nukes. Iran, because they're the biggest sponsor of state terrorism, you know, there is. And we scared they get a nuke, they give it to the terrorists and mess stuff up. Plus, Iran's massively huge. And then Iraq is a Saddam Hussein. Well, Iraq is whatever now. It's a mess, but it's not a threat. North Korea is just chilling ever since Trump went over there in this first term. So we don't have to worry about them anymore. And now Iran might be completely changed. And then, you know, I don't think Russia's going to be a threat to us. I think Putin just wants to chill. And I think the Russians want to be left alone. So that leaves China. And China, I don't have it pulled up ready to go tonight, but China's economy is collapsing. They're going through something horrible over there. The entire country is about to fall apart. And on top of that, they're being hit with these massive floods. So China's an interesting one. And the other thing that's going on in China, China just might be much, much weaker than we all assume. In fact, there are several people who believe, and these are smart people. Now, I don't report this ever because I just don't have anything to back it up. So I'm just telling you guys what I'm hearing. But there's a lot of people who believe that China's population is nowhere near 1.5 billion. It's actually closer to 500 million, which if that is true, if China doesn't have the massive population it boasts, that changes things also. It means China is actually much weaker. Have you seen all the ghost cities in China? It is wild. I have seen that footage, but there's other reasons that could be other than just having less. So anyways, crazy stuff. Speaking of Iran, JR, your girlfriend today, went out and just blasted all the facts about what Obama did in Iran. And here's a little clip from that, just letting the whole world know.
The contrast in leadership could not be more clear. Barack Obama and Joe Biden sent pallets of cash, American taxpayer dollars, in a failed attempt to buy the Iranian regime's compliance with a weak and ineffective deal. President Trump sent a fleet of American warplanes to destroy Iran's ability to produce a nuclear weapon. The United States and the entire world are safer because of this president's decisiveness.
Think about that. Think of how many people just heard that for the first time and now are researching it. Well, they sent pallets of cash to Iran? What? That's crazy. So hopefully we get more people who will start looking into that, actually understand like how crazy it was that, you know, what Obama had set up with them, how it was actually just a rigged deal to actually help them get nukes and fund terrorism. Because even people like Dave Smith, you know, who's a smart guy, even though I have strong disagreements with him, smart guy, even he's out there saying like, well, Trump, it's all his fault in the first place because he pulled us out of the deal Obama put together. It's like, bro, that deal was a rigged deal the whole time. It's the craziest thing when I hear Dave Smith say stuff like that. So, but here's Carolyn just blasting it to the world. And on top of that, Trump's wheeling and dealing with Iran. And this is another thing that's going to go to the Dave Smith types of the world who are like, well, how dare you say they can't have nuclear? How dare you say they can't have a nuclear program? Blah, blah, blah. Well, here's Trump being Trump, the most common sense, fair-minded leader we've ever seen in our country, at least in our lifetimes. Trump's now making a deal with Iran. $30 billion aid package, which I'm not a fan of this, $30 billion to them, but, relatively speaking, compared to what we spend, it's not that much if that's all we send them and it stabilizes the country. But still, I'm not a fan of this. Okay. I'll just say that right now. Trump, I disagree with you on something. Anyways, but I can see how it can be used for good. $30 billion aid package for a civilian nuclear program. Oh, funded by the Gulf Arab allies. I should have read the whole thing. So it's not even funded by us. No uranium enrichment allowed. Excellent. Release of their frozen $6 billion and a new nuclear site to replace Fordo, but without enrichment capabilities. That is about a fair deal. And I guarantee you there'll be all kinds of stuff put into this to keep an eye on them. So that's great news. That's what we want to see. So well done, Trump, the dealer maker, man. And this is the way we get insight over them and watch over them to make sure they don't start up a weapons program again. Was that donkey carb is done in Cali Dems against the crazy gas manipulation? The gas prices too crazy. Drop TF says the China flood was biblical. It's massive. It's crazy. Danny says, what benefits the U.S. to gain the whole world and lose its soul like this New York mayor? Oh, well, yeah, don't get me started on that. Alan, what's weird is Persia let the Jews leave and help build Jerusalem. Yes, that's correct. Artaxerxes in the book of Nehemiah. He commissions Nehemiah after 70 years, which is exactly how long God had prophesied through Isaiah and Jeremiah that they'd be in Babylon. And then Babylon, while they're in Babylon, the Persians take it over. That happens in Daniel. But Artaxerxes calls forth Nehemiah, tells Nehemiah, not only am I going to equip you to go back to your land and rebuild the wall and rebuild the city of Jerusalem so your people can return, I'll fund the whole thing. So yeah, Persians were good to the Jews. Brett says, Carolyn could speak in Swahili and I'd listen every word. You make me think of a movie, but I can't say the joke. It's too bad. Brett says, Trump's building a new golf course in Iran. Made the first 3 holes. I love it. Hero. Guys, everybody, all the men in this chat get really thirsty whenever Carolyn's on. I put her on just for, JR, but apparently everybody's very happy about it. So bully for you guys. Bully for you. Okay, let me keep going here. So Trump is out here. Remember, they leaked that the whole thing didn't work. Some low intel classified information got out, low confidence intel, I should say, got leaked before they'd had time to really go over everything. It said this is low confidence intel, and yet the Democrats got it out to the press to report that Trump's bombing had been a failure. Obviously, that's now been overturned by our intelligence and Israeli intelligence and the IAEA. So 3 confirmations that we did take out their facilities and their centrifuges. But Trump is on the offensive, saying the Democrats leaked it. If that's true, friends, we're going to see some really interesting stuff. Really interesting stuff. And this Iran thing just keeps going deeper. So remember, the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. They posted a picture of documents. One was dated May 19, 2018, the exact day Trump abandoned Obama's Iran deal. Then Trump confirmed Biden DOJ were after docs about Iran. Trump shared the truth, saying info about Trump dismantling Obama's Iran nuke deal. Biden weaponized DOJ FBI to try to steal the documents proving Obama and Biden committed treason. I think that could be very true. Why else go to all that length to get those documents? Remember, nobody talks about this. They almost shot Melania that's not talked about enough. When they raided Mar-a-Lago in Trump's house, they almost shot Melania. It's the craziest thing. It's like the way they raided his house was so disgusting. This clandestine says, I think the Mar-a-Lago raid had a lot to do with Deep State trying to cover up their plan to let Iran build nukes, and Trump knew the entire time, which would make a lot of sense. A lot of sense with why he's been so bullish on it for so long. Toe cramp. You and JR are gonna have a fist fight after that one. Jeez, man, that's wrong. I'm not even gonna read it. You're gonna piss off too many people about Carolyn there. Alan says, I think Pam Bondi's hot. You guys are thirsty for the Trump women, I gotta say. Which congressman releases? That's what we're gonna find out. BW talking about high beta stocks on the move, squeezy on some, gamma ramps on others, psych warfare and Wall Street investing. Hold the course. Watch for hedge funds implosion soon, in your opinion. I love it, BW. Thanks for sharing that. Stephen Carter says, haven't heard from JR since the Carolyn video. I'm not going to read the rest of what you said, but you guys can read it in the chat. JR, you're probably right. Or I mean, Cromer, you're probably right about JR. JR, where are you? Where you been, man? Hot Rod, what's going on? He says, thanks, still a silent watcher and listener. Rarely miss a show. Appreciate your hard-earned knowledge, different views, putting things in layman's term. Appreciate it. Hot Rod, that honestly means the world to me. Thank you so much. I also see you're a member, so thank you for your support. Very appreciated. Very appreciated. That's why I do this show. Because the way my brain works, I just want to share stuff with people, make it as simple as I can. And that's awesome. So thank you so much for sharing that. That's why I do this show. And that's why I enjoy it, and why I did it when there was 10 people watching, and why I'll do it when there's 10,000 people watching, if YouTube ever lets me get there. But YouTube doesn't like my show very much. But anyways, all right. This real quick on the ICE stuff going back. I'm a little out of order on these last few ones, so bear with me, guys. Tom Homan put Mondani, New York, on blast. Says because he said he'll ban ICE from New York City, and he says, good luck with that. ICE is going to triple down federal law, Trump state law, every day, every hour, every minute. If you're not a Tom Homan fan, what are you doing? What's going on over there? I don't understand it. Yeah, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Mark R says we're up to 68 likes. I have 136 people watching. Please, if you don't mind, just hit that like. It doesn't take long. It's easy to do, and it helps. So every little bit helps. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And subscribe if you're new. Kim Wiley, have a great night. God bless you. Also, if you want more, we did a members live last night. It was my first members live. I also streamed on Rumble, so the Patreon people got to watch it live. And listen, we are moving to Rumble, even though Rumble Studio sucks right now. Members lives will be moving to Rumble in the next few weeks. And the way to get them will be on Patreon and then the Discord. The Discord, the only way to get to the Discord is through Patreon. So if you're a member here, you love being a member, please sign up for the Discord. You get your first month free to make up for the fact that you probably already paid $3 for YouTube. And also, that free month is available to everybody who wants to become a member for the first time. So if you're new, you can become a member of the Patreon, get into the Discord, and start seeing the members lives for free for your first month. So just hit the code on the post I put up, and I'll share it again tonight. So thank you guys for that. Donkey, I'll probably have to refresh to see the latest numbers. I'm just trusting what somebody sent me. Sorry, Toe. I know. Everybody's losing their badges because we're moving on, but this is YouTube's fault. Blame YouTube. YouTube has, and I'll say it, they've stolen money from me. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands of dollars over the last 2 years I've been streaming, from demonetizing many of my videos, and I'm just done. Not letting me grow. You know, when I first started this channel, it took off. I reached my first few thousand in the first couple months. It just took off. And since then, since I started talking politics, it's been like pulling teeth to gain new viewers. And it's funny because it's not just me. I've heard Tim Pool, who's got millions of followers, the Quartering, who's got millions of followers, and a couple others all say that since the election, 2024 election year, anybody talking politics that is seen as favorable to Trump, their numbers have stopped. And that's why the Quartering and Tim do most of their stuff now on Rumble. So just letting you guys know, it's an attack on all conservatives and all MAGA here on YouTube. They just stopped pushing our content. So, but yeah, I got tired. I'm tired of making YouTube number one when they just steal from me. So, Mike, I've been talking about this for a month, man. Where you been? It started in the Discord, but it's not going to be much. And also, here's the good news. A lot of you don't get notifications on the members' lives, correct? I've heard this 100 times. I ran a poll on it once. I think only 50% or 45% of people actually get notifications. If you're in the Patreon, 100% of you will get notifications because every time I go live, I'll post it and everyone will get an email. I'll also post it in the Discord. So there you go. There you go. All right, let's keep going here. Let's play this little clip from Eric Schmidt. Somebody brought up the parliamentarian today. Well, guess what, guys? They're fighting back. Good for the GOP for once.
Her assessment. Do you agree?
I understand the frustration, but I actually think we're going to be able to work through this. One example of that is originally the not allowing SNAP benefits to illegal immigrants was bounced, and now that's back in. So I'm pretty confident we're going to work through these and get the savings that we want, make sure illegal immigrants aren't getting their taxpayer benefits, and ultimately still delivering on all the things for American families. I'm still hopeful.
Last month, you told a local outlet, MissouriNet, that you did not think cuts to Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. Her assessment. Do you agree?
Okay, so the Senate parliamentarian is one of the stupidest things in the Senate. It's a person who can come in, look at what our Congress is trying to make into law, and they can say, yeah, this can't go in this bill. It's an immense power for somebody who's unelected. Well, this Senate parliamentarian was groomed by Harry Reid. She's a full-on Democrat. Why the Republicans are so stupid, I hate them. They drive me insane. They are so stupid they allow a Democrat to be the parliamentarian who can choose what can be in or out of a bill. And she did this, which is insane. She told them that they can't ban illegals from getting food stamps. Thankfully, the Republicans were like, that is crazy, and they put it back in. But it's insane. Tommy Tuberville, senator from Alabama, came out today and said we should get rid of the parliamentarian. We should fire her. John Thune, who's weak as majority leader, said, I'm not going to fire her, but hopefully the pressure builds up. And apparently, J.D. Vance has power over this, but that power hasn't been used since the 1950s, so nobody knew about it. But if that's true, I guarantee you if this becomes an issue, J.D. Vance will step in. It's one of the craziest things to take out banning illegals from getting food stamps. So insane. This, my friends, is our government. And you wonder why things suck so bad. They have done this to themselves, and you darn right it's on purpose. Stephen Cromer says VP can override the parliamentarian. Hasn't been done in 60 years. That's what I was saying. Yeah, I think it was 1954. Brett Montgomery says that's completely retarded. From what I know, you cannot benefit from the government if you're not a citizen. Well, that's how it should be. Oh well. Let's move on to something good. All right, Trump. I'll let the man himself say it. How about that? How about that? You tell us, Mr. Trump. That is the wrong one. Whoopsies. All right.
A few months ago, the press was saying, do you really have anybody of any interest? Well, we just signed with China yesterday, right? Just signed with China. We have everybody. We're not going to make deals with everybody. Some we're just going to send them a letter, say, thank you very much. You're going to pay 25, 35, 45%. That's the easy way to do it. And my people don't want to do it that way. They want to do some of it, but they want to make more deals than I would do. But we're having some great deals. We have one coming up, maybe with India, very big one, where we're going to open up India. In the China deal, we're starting to open up China, things that never really could have happened. A few months ago, the press was saying
trade deal
anybody of any interest
with flipping China. And he says it's signed. Now, we don't have the documents in front of us yet. We haven't seen it. So maybe it's maybe it was a handshake sign and it hasn't been done yet. Trump usually, though, when he drops something like this, we're going to see something soon. If it's true that we actually got a deal signed with China, we got a deal signed with them, and now we're going to have a deal with India coming soon. That's massive. Says Trump highlights how he had deals in the pipeline. MSM did not believe him. Deals are already made behind closed doors. We're just seeing disclosure. That's how Trump operates. I hope that's correct. If it is, absolutely massive. Cassing says, great. Guess that's why Trump was in great spirits. 100%. Hero says, YouTube's probably stealing money from me to give to illegals. You're probably right, Hero. You're probably right. They whatever they can do to make them happy. Google is in California, so there's that. Bill Gates. I'm not gonna play it because I hate his voice. But RFK today froze all of the U.S. funding to Gavi, warning that the progress made on global vaccines is now in jeopardy. This is Bill Gates freaking out. RFK has told Gavi, which is his organization, the great philanthropist, been taking billions of dollars from us since 2001 to vaccinate a bunch of kids in third world countries. We're cutting it off. And Gates is big mad. He says the world's facing a global health crisis due to major aid cuts from the Trump administration. Claims that without his vaccine programs, newborns in the poorest countries won't survive. Yeah, right. They'll survive and thrive. You know that two of the countries that Gates has gone to and been delivering these vaccines have both had polio outbreaks for the first time in 50 years. Gates is killing people. This is the same man. He's telling us he wants to save the planet. Same man who in a TED Talk that you can pull up right now on YouTube, he says we need to depopulate. We need to get the world population down. That's insane. Who says that? You can't talk like that. And you want us, when you're out there telling everybody we need less people in the world, we want you to be around the world administering shots? Hell no. This is the way we win, guys. Again, just more and more stuff most people just didn't think we were going to see happen, and it's incredible. Randy says China has a history of signing trade deals and not living up to their commitments. Well, of course, I don't trust China. But the fact is, once they have a deal signed, Trump has avenues to, in being Trump. Now, I can't tell you what the next president will do, whoever that is, J.D. Vance. What Trump can do is if a deal is signed, it gives him the authority to inflict consequences if they don't follow through. And that's a big deal. Bill Great says the sprockets had cut. Sprockets. Aunt. Shogun. Bill Gates needs to go. I hope Bill Gates rots in prison. I truly do. All right. Here is the best own of the day. I should make this a regular segment because this is just too flipping good. Own of the day. I did it again. Let's go this way. Got to do it my new software way because I can't use Rumble Studio. Own of the day goes to Carrie Lake.
I wanted to start just by confirming, do you support democracy or authoritarianism?
I think that's pretty obvious. I support freedom and democracy.
Democracy. Great. Would you agree that accepting the results of a fair and free election are critical to a functioning democracy?
Would you agree that standing up and cheering for a cancer survivor would have been the nice thing to do?
Ms. Lake, this is my time.
Okay.
Would you accept that accepting the results of a free and fair election are critical to a functioning democracy? It's a yes or no question. Do you think it's essential for democracy to have a free and fair election?
We need free and fair elections.
Free and fair elections, great.
Thank
Thank you. I wanted to start just by confirming.
Would you agree that standing up for a little boy with cancer is a good thing? Oh my God.
Democracy or
Unbelievable. Carrie Lake just slamming it down. That's the kind of stuff that makes me happy. I just love that Trump has populated his whole cabinet with people like this. Hero says, how many poor countries were not affected because they weren't forced to take the jab? Several. But the biggest one, obviously, was Sweden. Well, no, sorry. Sweden was the one that didn't do the lockdowns. But many countries didn't take the jab, younger ones. Cat Singh says, did I hear anything about the kid Big Balls working in the Trump administration now? Yes. He left Doge, and he just announced today he's in the Trump administration. Brett says, the Dems can't handle the crap they've been spewing on us for decades. They can't. They never thought we'd fight back. They didn't. They're shocked, and they don't know what to do about it. And what's more, they used to be given cover by the media. But now the media has no power. In fact, the media is less trusted than the government now. I think the latest poll on trust in the media was like 16%. Nobody trusts the media anymore. So now the media can't run cover for the Democrats. It's glorious. And this is the kind of thing, guys, whether it's peace in the Middle East, whether it's net migration, whether it's wages going up, whether it's the fact we've defeated the media and we now are the news. Thing after thing after thing, and I know there's more to be done, and there's stuff we all want to see done, trust me. But major things are happening under Trump, like massive things we never thought we'd see. And it's only setting things up to just be better and better and better down the road. We are on a trend that has started, and we're just at the beginning. And again, remember, like, looking ahead to 2026, 2028, we're going to have more seats. That's just happening because of census migration within the country and deportation. So we're going to have more seats that are red. They have nobody. The Democrats don't have a leader. They're completely leaderless. We have J.D. Vance, who I believe truly is the most talented politician I've ever seen in my life. He makes Obama look like a bumbling idiot. And Obama was super talented. But J.D. Vance is twice as polished and as strong as Obama. Plus, he's a MAGA guy. It's like the greatest gift of all to get him after Trump. Which, by the way, Ann Coulter said today, too, which made me feel really good. So we got that lined up. The census shift in 2030 is going to massively help boost us. Things are trending in the right direction. The only thing we can't do is take our foot off the gas. If we don't take our foot off the gas, we're going to win, and we're going to keep winning for a very long time. Tokram says, Doge still doing their thing even without Bibi and Elon. Yeah, they are. They're just behind the scenes more now. They're not out there making these huge proclamations anymore because it kind of backfired on them, but they're still there. I don't believe they're planning on stopping at all. Yeah, Carrie Lake had the picture of Jayapal. It's wonderful. It's so good. Carrie Lake's position in the Trump administration, she's over like some government media branch that you've probably never heard of. And she's cleaning it up. She's basically helped them defund it. Her time isn't our time, Richmond High, Sean Penn. Oh, man. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Nice. All right, last thing I want to share tonight. This is crazy, but the CAT system caught 7 billion, almost 7.3 billion trading errors last week. So we're still seeing this stuff. Here it is right here at the bottom. I mean, that's insanity. This is, our markets are still completely destroyed. Now, I got to tell you that this data is insane and everybody's worried about the markets. Okay. And I get it. We should be. And everybody, people are mad Trump hasn't done anything with the markets yet. And I agree. I'm frustrated. This is my money too. Okay. But I'm starting to see that it really looks like Trump is systematically doing things a certain way. And I really believe his priorities to save our country, don't get me wrong, the Wall Street stuff has to be dealt with, but that's not going to destroy our country. It's destroying our pocketbooks. It's wiping out wealth, and that hurts our country, but it's not the ultimate destruction of our country, because a lot of it, we could choose not to invest, at least in the stock market. But here's the deal. It's pretty clear what he's doing. He's doing foreign policy first. That is like, we got to stop the wars because they cannot drag us into a war because that'll change everything again. It puts all the focus on there. It'll ruin his domestic policy. Cannot happen. So foreign policy is big. Border and illegal immigration is 1A. That's 1A and 1B. Get the wall done. Get these people out. Get this funded. Get it done. The next, and that's all going to happen in the big, beautiful bill. Then get the tax cuts done. They have to be done. They have to be locked in because he needs Congress. This is the one thing he truly needs Congress to do is get this bill passed, because he gets it passed. He locks in those tax cuts. They're now permanent, and he locks in most of his promises from his campaign. Incredible. On top of that, I know a lot of the other stuff people are like freaking out about, but a lot of that actually has to do, whether it's the colleges, whatever. That's eliminating rot. Okay. The justice system's doing its job. We've caught hundreds and hundreds of human traffickers. We're seeing arrests all the time. They're getting corrupt judges. This representative in New Jersey now might go to jail for fighting off ICE officers. He's keeping everything tamped down. He's basically eliminating every tool the Democrats, the leftists, the globalists have to take back over our country. He's just defeating them. Once he's done that, and I think honestly, once the big beautiful bill's passed and we get peace in Ukraine, which I don't think is that far off, then he can start doing other things like cleaning up the markets. And I know what I get what the criticism is. It's like, well, he's already got what's his face over there. I get that. But here's the deal. If they tank the markets, say if they put new regulations into the markets and it tanks them because all of a sudden we realize how fake everything was and it ruins the stock market, well, then he loses his political capital, get all that other stuff done. So it's a risk he cannot take right now. Now, this is all theory. Okay, it's all theory. But you know what he's also doing during this time? He's rebuilding the foundation of our economy. Tariffs, getting rid of the illegal immigrants, getting our financial laws in order, especially tax laws in order. That's all deregulating. That's all building a financial foundation so that if things crash, they don't crash as hard and they rebuild much faster. And I truly do. I think that's what's happening. I think that right now, if they completely cleaned all this up, it would lead to a crash. And it doesn't mean they won't ever do it. But it means they're either going to do it, they're waiting till the time's right and then they'll pull the rug out, or B, they're going to do it slow and methodical so it doesn't crash everything. Because Trump doesn't want people to get hurt. He really doesn't. He wants as few people to get hurt as possible. Donkey says, you think they'll ever reverse Obama's reversal of truth and reporting, removal, allowing psyops in the media against American people? That's a great question. I don't know. If that was passed into law, it's got to be more difficult to do. So I don't know. I actually haven't heard anything on that for a while. Job TF says 7 billion trading errors, not even including shares within options. No, I guarantee you not. Brett says, I've been thinking about this, Mr. Hanf. I'm hearing you're there. Doesn't that make it art? Oh my God. What's happening? Carrie Lake. Yeah, she's overseeing Freedom Radio or whatever. Voice of America. That's what it is. Stephen Cromer, 10,000 new ICE agents. Yes, and billions of dollars. Yeah. Rumdog says, heard an interview Thune might actually fire the parliamentarian. Well, finally, it'd be nice to see that he actually has some gumption. Thune's been pretty weak. He hasn't been terrible. There was a lot of people who thought he'd be terrible. He hasn't been terrible. He's gotten through almost every one of Trump's nominees, so he's done some good stuff. But he hasn't been great either. Oh, by the way. I love this. Some of you won't, but I do. Trump released his first attack ad on Thomas Massie in Kentucky today. Not Trump, but a MAGA in Kentucky. This is the first attack ad coming out on Thomas Massie. He really is going to primary him and try to get it out.
What happened to Thomas Massie? President Trump is banning sex changes on minors. Massie voted against it. President Trump is cutting taxes and saving Kentucky families $10,000. Massie voted against it. President Trump is securing our border and deporting criminal aliens. Massie voted against Trump again. And after Trump obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program, Massie sided with Democrats and the Ayatollah. Let's fire Thomas Massie. MAGA Kentucky is responsible for the content of this advertising. What happened?
It's a pretty good ad, I'm not going to lie. It's a pretty good ad. Just, dang, that's intense. I don't think it'll be enough to beat him because he's pretty popular, but that's a pretty good ad. I got to say. Pretty good. Ryan says Trump executive order pausing short selling will work. It could, but you got to remember we have a much bigger problem than South Korea had, and South Korea's got a big problem. We're not just the American market; we're the world market. So again, I think it just might be too risky for him to want to try to do it. Tasty waves, a cool buzz, and you're fine. Well, whatever works for you, Mike. Anyways, all right, guys, please like, subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you, Brett, for sharing that. Consider joining for the Discord, which the Discord's awesome. It's like a big party in there. Everybody's friends now. It's a great community. If you're not in the Discord, you're missing out. On top of that, the members lives, lots of fun. We did one last night. Had some really good stuff with that. So if you want to be in those, just check out the Patreon. I'm pushing everybody there now. And, I'm excited about it. I really am. So as people keep signing up, it grows. I have a lot of things I want to do with that. And now it'll help me focus as well, because I did Patreon. I started last year and I did a bunch of classes. I did like 20 Bible classes and like 10 financial classes and business classes. I want to do classes again. But with the membership over here and the way everything I had set up, it just really wore me down and I wasn't able to keep up with it. But now with the Patreon, if that's being the full membership, it's going to help me concentrate much better. And so I'm going to build it out a lot more. So the membership's going to be better than ever. And there's several options on there you can see, but the $5 a month gets you the members lives and the Discord. So really good stuff there. And I will reshare that link. So, but if you go to my page and you go to posts, or it's community or posts, I can't remember which, I think it's posts, you'll see the link that gets you a free month. So, I recommend you check it out. Johnny Strayhorn says, I don't have the name right off, but I heard the lady Bondi put in charge of elections is bad news. Really? I would find that hard to believe, because Trump elections are going to be one of his number one things, but we'll see. Brett says, I see a lot of elected officials being in the upcoming primaries. Oh, yeah, there's going to be a lot of primarying going on. You better believe it. So on that note, please like, subscribe before I head off, and let's pray, because we need prayer. And prayer has been working for our country. It's really been getting things back on track, and so we got it. We can't stop. So Jeff Spicoli, and is that Fast Times? I think so, right? Am I missing it? I don't know. Anyways, all right, Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless this amazing group of people. God bless our country. Pray for President Trump and his crew, Lord, that you would protect them and give them wisdom to navigate things, to truly help steer America back in the right direction. I don't know if we'll ever fully, truly understand how close we were to losing everything in a major way. So we're so thankful. And but bless everybody here, especially Thomas, God, with his cancer. I pray he finds a treatment, God, that completely cures him. So give him wisdom in searching that out, because he's one of us, and we appreciate him. So our thoughts and prayers are with him, and just thank you, God, for all you've done for us. We love you, and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Oh yeah, Sean Penn Curry. That's right. Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched it. I wasn't I didn't grow up like real big on that movie. I've gone back, I've watched it. It's great, but it wasn't like one of my movies growing up. So I don't remember everything in it. Watch what happens with the info Patel gave to Grassley on the elections. I agree. 2020, it's going to be huge. So, all right, guys, love you. Have a great night. I will see you all soon. I'll probably be on this weekend. I have a feeling something's going to happen, so we'll keep a lookout for me.